In today's video, I will talk about the best Amazon Prebuilt gaming PCs of the month. You will have the link to all of these PCs down below in the description, as well with some better options for the price that you're paying, because I think there are better options than some of these Amazon gaming PCs, and that's why you will have the gaming PC from Amazon and a better option if there is one. But also, if you have a budget below $900 or above $2,000, you will have those PCs as well down below in the description, because I'm not going to get into detail in this video about those budgets. My recommendation is for you to buy a gaming PC that's above $800, but if you can't afford it, it's totally fine because I got you down below. And if you don't mind buying from another company that's not Amazon, you have my video about the best overall Prebuilt gaming PCs in the top right of the screen. Now, let's start. With the first one, we have one from PC, and this company has a lot of good Prebuilt gaming PCs, and that's why I usually recommend them. This one is the Gaming Extreme VR and comes with the i5-10400F, which is great for 1080p gaming, and the GTX 1660 Super, which I think is the best GPU in terms of price performance. The only thing that you don't get with the GTX 1660 Super is ray tracing, but for 1080p gaming at 144 FPS on average in esports titles, or even more in some cases, it's definitely worth the buy, and on top of that you will be able to run every single high demanding video game at 1080p above 60 FPS on average. This one has 8 gigs of RAM, and that's the only downside because I recommend you upgrading to 16 gigs to make it dual channel, and on top of that you get more RAM, and it has 500 gigs of SSD, which is decent. I mean, you can live with 8 gigs of RAM, but for gaming 16 gigs is the sweet spot, and your gaming performance will improve by a lot overall. It also comes with a mouse and a keyboard, and that's a nice feature to have in case you don't have any of these two, and they look actually pretty decent. The next one is as well from PC, and I think this one is the best in terms of price performance on the whole list, because it has the i5-11600KF, 16 gigs of RAM, the RTX 3060, 500 gigs of SSD, and 1TB of hard drive at only $1,190. I think this price is great for what it offers, because the RTX 3060 has ray tracing, and it's a great GPU not only for 1080p but for 1440p as well, and you get the latest version of the i5, which is the i5-11600KF. Also, on top of that, you get the mouse and the keyboard and Windows 11 Home. So you get as well the latest Windows. Here you don't need to upgrade anything because you have enough storage, 1.5 TB between the hard drive and the SSD, and you also get those 16 gigs of RAM that I recommend you buying. So my recommendation if you have $900 is to extend your budget a little bit more until you get $1,190, but if you can't do that, it's fine, you can go with the last one, but I highly recommend you upgrading the last one to this one. With the next gaming PC, we have the HP Omen 25L at $1,500 and comes with the RTX 3060 Ti, which is better than the 3060, and you get the Ryzen 5 5600X, which is really similar to those i5 10 and 11 generations. You get Windows 10, 16 gigs of RAM at 3200 MHz and 500 gigs of SSD, which is decent. Now, I think this gaming PC in terms of gaming is perfect because you get a combination with the RTX 3060 Ti and the Ryzen 5 5600X, so there is no game that you cannot run at even 1440p, and you can start gaming at 4K 60 FPS average in some popular games like GTA 5. The only downside for this PC is the cooling for the CPU, but in order to fix this, you have a lot of options. The first one being upgrading the CPU cooling with a liquid cooler, which I think is the best option for you not to spend a lot of money to buy a new gaming PC or a whole new case. The second option, which is for free, and you can do this pretty easily, is take off the side panel to give this gaming PC more airflow. This is a free option, and if you want to do it, you can do it, and it will work perfectly fine for those CPU temps. For the GPU temp, this gaming PC is awesome, don't worry about the GPU temps. And for the third option, which is what I don't recommend doing, but you can do this if you feel insecure about those temperatures, you can go with the iBuyPower Pro gaming PC, which is even cheaper than the Omen 25L and comes with a better CPU, the i7-11700F, but it comes with the RTX 2060, so you're losing a lot of gaming performance because from the 2060 to the 3060 Ti, there's a lot of difference in gaming, so you're losing on a lot of performance, but the gaming PC is better cooled. And the other option is to buy a $200 more expensive gaming PC, which is the Skytech Chiba, which comes with the same components but 1TB of SSD, which is better, but you're spending around $200 more. If you can afford it, I recommend you buying the Skytech one, but if you can't, go with a liquid cooler or with a different air cooler, and if you don't want to spend anything, just take out the side panel. With the next PC and the last one of the list, we have the Skytech Kronos gaming PC. This one has the Ryzen 7 3700X, which is a great CPU for gaming but also editing, and you have the RTX 3070, which is better than all of the GPUs that I mentioned previously. You have 16 gigs of RAM at 3200 MHz, which is great, and 1TB of NVMe SSD. This gaming PC is capable of running every single game at even 4K in 60 FPS average, but of course depending on the settings. If you want to play esports titles, this one is capable of running them at 240 FPS on average at 1080p and 144 FPS average in 1440p. I think this gaming PC is great overall, and Skytech did a great job here and also has a great airflow system since it has a front mesh panel. So that was the whole video. If this list was helpful, please leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content. And remember that if your budget is not in this video, don't worry because you will have it down below in the description and I'm here to help you. So if you need more help, let me know in the comment section what's your question and I will reply as fast as possible. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.